Hi there, welcome to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Lindholm. And I think it's time for us women to shift the conversation in business and step into our feminine leadership to do the most iconic work the aesthetic industry has ever seen. Each week, I'll be bringing a powerful dose of strategy, sarcasm, solutions, and sass that will rev up your creativity and ignite your brilliance as you link arms with me along our shared path of personal and professional growth in 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Hey, have you heard? It's 2021, the year of self-care. And speaking of self-care, it's time to finally eliminate the frustration of managing poor performance in your team, behavioral issues, and the discomfort of people drama by creating a solid people plan that aligns with your vision for cash, influence, and autonomy. And if you're wondering how to attract your next high-performing team member, nourish your company culture, and create compensation plans that are win-win for both the employee and the business, you are cordially invited to my free masterclass. Come and dig into my proven method for hiring A players and developing a culture that fosters passion, enthusiasm, and self-led entrepreneurship. Save the date for February 1st for a 90-minute high-impact experience, but hurry because space will be limited. P.S. This is not another Zoom webinar with a list of 10 tactics. It is a powerful, thought-provoking, elevated conversation around building deeply satisfying, lucrative, freedom-based businesses that give you the autonomy and cash reserves you deserve in 2021. Register at klcconsultants.com/masterclass and breathe new life into your team and business this year. I'll see you there. Hello, Fierce Factor. Wow, I cannot believe it. We are at the halfway mark of the first month of the year. And I swear it felt like 2020 moved as slow as molasses, yet I don't know about you, I feel like this year is already flying by. And I'm thinking about last year and how turbulent it was, but truly how that chaos, while it forced many of us, many of you listening, to evaluate what was essential, updating outdated systems and disjointed teams, and kind of force you to look into shoring up a foundation that is essentially pandemic proof. I look at it like similar to building a muscle. It often takes tearing or breaking down existing infrastructure to rebuild strong, healthy, viable systems and teams. And so because of that, I feel super optimistic about what's to come this year for us on the business side. And I just think that now is the time to get in position to catch the wave by capitalizing on trends that we are watching gain momentum through this pandemic at rapid speed. And so in today's podcast episode, I really thought it would be helpful to share a live training I did this last week related to trends in aesthetics in the coming year. And as you listen, I want you to think about how you have adopted, or if you have adopted and implemented these trends into your business. Think about how you can anticipate and truly lead from the future by recognizing what could possibly come. What does the potential look like for you this year in your business? And what sort of things do you need to implement from an infrastructure standpoint to get in position to catapult your growth? And then finally, what do you need to execute on these growth opportunities? Be it team, resources, coaching support. So without further ado, here's episode 39, the 2021 Aesthetic Trends Creating Momentum for Our Clients. I'm here in beautiful California. We have a nice sunny day, and I could not be more excited to spend my morning after I've had my workout and my 40-degree cold plunge coming on with you guys to talk about how to prepare for this crazy journey of what's ahead in 2021. And welcome everybody who's joining on Facebook and LinkedIn. Really excited to be live streaming to multiple locations today so that we can talk to you folks wherever you're hanging out. And I really appreciate those of you who are taking time out of your day to be here with us. I have a jam-packed agenda today, and I'm going to go ahead and dive in so we can get to everything. I do have a hard stop at 9:40, and so I want to make sure that we get in everything that I want to cover today regarding how to prepare for the new normal in our industry in 2021. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, I would love to introduce myself. My name is Kaylee Lindholm, and I'm the founder of KLC Consulting and the Pop Aesthetic Leadership Academy, where we help aesthetic practice owners and leaders build deeply satisfying, lucrative, freedom-based businesses that stand the test of time. And we do that by helping them implement systems and strategy and kick butt teams to help execute their vision. And I'm so excited to share some of the experience that we've had over the course of this past year, working very closely with our clients in our community. Also, some of you are already members. If you're not, be sure to apply and join our free private Facebook group of over 600 aesthetic leaders. Our group's called the Tribe of Fierce Aesthetic Leaders. It is not for everybody. It is truly for aesthetic leaders who are looking to make true impact in this industry, in their business. And, it's just an awesome place for us to collaborate, a community for us to be together in a safe place to talk about things that are impacting us in our businesses and lives on a daily basis. And, speaking of business and life, there may have been one point in time back in history somewhere when our home life and our business life were separate, but not anymore. Everything is integrated. And a lot of the work that we do, the deep, connective work that we do with our clients in our academy is to help integrate these two in a way that's seamless. Because at the end of the day, when you go to a business that you love and you feel happy, your team's happy, feel satisfied and fulfilled by the work that you do, you love your patients, you love, everything about the business side, then you get to go home and be in a really clear, rested, level-headed state and enjoy what you're really working for, your family, your friends, and the cool things and fun things in your life. So I would love for you who are jumping on, if you're joining us live today, give me a comment in the chat and let me know what was, now that we're looking back at 2020, what was the number one gift that you gave yourself in 2020? When you look at 2020, what do you see as, gosh, that was my gift. That was the gift that I got, that I received in that turbulent year. And let me know where you're coming in from too. I'd love to say hello and be connected with you in the comments. So we went through this exercise, and I've been kind of having these deep conversations with our clients, around what 2020 did mean. And we know it was an absolutely epic, turbulent year. And anybody who's saying like, oh, we just bounced right through it, is completely lying. It was hard for everybody. And it was very scary. Honestly, there were a lot of businesses that didn't know if they would make it or not. And many didn't. And, not to mention the health of the people that we know and love and the safety in our country. And so we've been through turmoil, to say the least. And our character has been tested through the adversity that we experienced in 2020. And I think really the only way for us to move forward, to find success and to find growth and opportunity in 2021 is to look at 2020 and reflect upon what those gifts really were. Okay. So, as we were going through this exercise with some of our clients, and I shared some of this with our academy members on our kickoff yesterday, was that, we're not really through to the end. I think I'm not so much a New Year's Eve person. I love to have a good party, but from one year to the next year, it's the next day. I try to always be constantly setting goals and kind of renewing, my spirit and myself, and the end point of where I'm headed. I don't know, setting a new goal and then recalibrating. But this year was interesting. This year for me, it felt like now is not going to change from 2020 to 2021, but it's going to be an opportunity to draw a distinct line, a delineation between pre-pandemic and now the new normal, so to speak. Okay. And so as I was doing some thought work and we were working on, thinking about 2020,
and what 2021 represents, there's no question for me that we're still in this messy middle space, right? We're not at the end of the tunnel yet. We're still getting through it. But what we're learning how to do is learn from our mistakes, learn from the things that are within our control and are not, right? And look at opportunity for us in our business and lives to kind of see the silver lining. I'm sure, many of you have kids, have experienced this firsthand where all of a sudden, we're full-time working parent teachers and trying to kind of figure that out. And, at the end of the day, I feel like, well, at least I really enjoyed spending the time and getting to see my kids more on a different kind of level, and having different kind of conversations and experiences with them and really watching and seeing not so much their academic progress, but their true growth as humans and individuals. And so, we're having conversations like these. And, as we're thinking about 2020, many of our clients are feeling almost a little more uncomfortableness and pain right now, because what that downtime or pause or the kind of shake up, like think of the snow globe being shaken up, right? And it's like kind of starting to settle down again. But what that shake up did was help wake up and, make people realize that, look, I think I've been tolerating some things for a while that it was just easier for me to not fix. It was easier for me to just put up with that, and now I have to slow down and take a look at it and really get smart about how I'm prioritizing my time and my resources in my business, my life personally. How am I prioritizing my time for myself? And, starting to realize and become aware and recognize that there are things that are happening in our businesses and lives that really we just can't put up with anymore. And that is a really uncomfortable feeling to be sitting in right now, but it's truly a good thing. I think looking at the systems that have been disjointed, some people are saying, look, I just realized I'm not going to put up with that team member anymore. They do a good job, but they're kind of a virus for the practice. Some people are saying this marketing strategy, I had time to pause and pull back and not invest all of that. And my business is running without it. And so I'm going to do it that way, or kind of recommit or redirect resources to another place. Okay. And so there's kind of a lot of this like shaken up, we're starting to uncover some of the cobwebs and figure out what's going on in there in the systems side and operation side. And it feels kind of icky, it feels uncomfortable, but it is a really, truly amazing place to be, because it's the beginning of growth, right? It's that, like, first you have to know why you're sick and what sickness you have before you can fix it, right? And so that's kind of where a lot of people are. And so I want to share with you some of the gifts that, our clients have shared with us as they've looked back into 2020. And I'd love for you to comment in the chat and let me know if any of these resonate with you as well, or if you have some other gift that, you're thinking, gosh, really 2020 was a gift and this was what my gift was. So here are some of the things that they said. I made decisions that didn't make sense on paper, but it just felt so right for me. Essentially trusting my instincts and my gut and leveraging really the brain and resources that we have internally to help guide our decision making. I protected my vision, even when it was extremely difficult to do. I didn't let myself feel guilty for having success this year. Like other people may not have had success, but, I felt like I did, and I'm going to let myself receive and feel that. I insisted on operating from nothing less than what my core values were. I learned how to make money in other ways within my business and without of my business. So we had people investing in real estate and making other investments on the e-commerce and retail side, and bringing in new services and offers that are treating their patients from a more holistic perspective. And so I was on a call yesterday with a colleague who told me that she had an esthetician that she works with in Dallas who had a 7-figure year last year. So I'm just seeing like these amazing successes, and not to mention the majority of our private clients and community and academy clients, have had really epic breakthrough years on, the financial side and the revenue side as well. So really looking at cutting costs that were frivolous, investing more into their patients, investing more into the things that were important for driving the long-term sustainable growth of their practice. And we're seeing a lot of quick wins and successes as well. So very positive things that have been going on in 2020. And, I love hearing these gifts. So many of them just truly somewhat intangible, but really we got to get out of the weeds, people. We got to really be thinking about, how can we take what we've learned and who we've become in 2020 to catapult us into 2021. Okay. And so the number one thing that our clients are focused on this year that I really wanted to share with you has to do with getting in position. That means setting themselves up for success. So gleaning from the experience, gleaning on really just stock and inventory of what worked and didn't work through the course of the past year, preparing themselves for whatever bumpy ride, right? Like we're in the roller coaster, we're not driving it, we're just kind of moving along and kind of redirecting our brain and our perspective to be ready and open to that, but staying really clear and focused on the strategic plan for 2021. And so when I think about getting in position, I was out this week watching my boys. We had like a big swell come in Seal Beach. They surf and bodyboard, and they have this beater board thing anyway for you surfers out there. So I'm learning a lot about this, but I was kind of kicking back watching and taking it all in. And the surfers, I feel like I would die if I tried to surf, especially those short boards and they're maneuvering around. But the boogie boarders, like, I think I could do that, like get on the board, throw the fins on, and you just kind of like hang out and wait. Like, okay, we're ready now. Where's my wave? And I really thought this was a great analogy for the way that our high growth clients are putting themselves in position to catch that wave in 2021, putting the fins on, getting the right board, putting the right wetsuit on, going to the right beach, and then, simply positioning themselves in the right place at the right time for that swell to come in and, get that break and ride that wave in. And once they're on that wave, there isn't much that they need to do. It's just time to kick back. It's time to enjoy and receive all of that amazing benefit and return that's coming to you. But you got to put the investment into getting set up on that wave, getting to that beach, getting the right gear, and putting yourself in position. Okay. And so in order to do that, I want to ask you a question and something to really think about. Is there something that you've been tolerating in 2020 that, you tolerated because it was just easier than fixing it? Is there something that, you felt like, gosh, looking back, a gift would be for me to unleash that weight, right? That would give me more stress-free days. It's scary to think about it, but it would be a, better upside if it did work well for me to get rid of that weight, that heaviness, right? So maybe it's some aspect of your team, or it's some systems, or it's just even maybe it's a whole division of your business that is just, kind of dragging the rest, right? I want you to think about that. Is there something that you've been tolerating that, going into 2021, it's just not tolerable anymore? It's just not going to work. And I'm going to say no, and you're not going to let it take you, So I really want you to think about that. And again, going back to leveraging your instinct and your intuition and your gut, because you have the answers. You know what you need to do in 2021 to be successful. You do, but you're questioning yourself and you want to look at what other people are doing and you want to say, well, they're doing it and that's making them successful, so I'm going to follow that path. And that's normal. And, it would be stupid to just not look at around you and see what's happening, or talk to people that you trust and make decisions based on experiences and successes that other people have had. But we're all unique. And if you're building a bespoke business and you want to stand out and be in a category of one, you want to be in the top 2%, you have to do things that are 98% different than other people, that are different from the other 98%. And what do I mean by that? I mean that looking at your business as the unique, special place it is, and how you and your personal brand are influencing that business. And is that a reflection of you? When people are looking at your business from the outside, are they truly seeing who you are? Do they know who you are? Or are they seeing somebody that you want them to think you are? That makes sense, right? Who are you? And so, before we move into, I want to go over my prediction and some things that we're seeing and our clients are going to be focusing on in terms of top trends for the industry. I want you to really think about this from the higher level of, what it is that your goals are for developing yourself as a preeminent brand in the industry. And it's probably going to take doing some uncomfortable things, right? Going through that kind of messy middle stage. and making choices that are going to help guide your business to where it needs to be going in the long term. So I want to dive into some of the top trends that we're seeing, that I'm predicting and really advising our clients to be focusing on in 2021. So if you haven't noticed already, based on the first 15 minutes of this talk, we are really entering the self-care revolution. And so a lot of what we're going to be focusing on, both in the way that we provide advice around business modeling, marketing, content, et cetera, but also how you treat yourself and take care of yourself in 2021. It's really around this whole concept of self-care. And so, there's really 4 areas I would like for you to be focused on around this self-care concept. And one is business model. Do you have a business model that is set up to support the concept behind self-care? Do you have the right offers and services available to your patients to deliver self-care therapies to them? Do you have a communication strategy that is humanized and is effective, that is helping patients understand that you're there for them, right? Are you making self-care recommendations when they're coming in to see you as a patient, right? Or if you're a business owner or leader and, really thinking about how are we focused on helping that patient identify ways to help care for themselves, right, in 2021. And, finally, making self-care a priority for you. Are you taking care of yourself? And that might mean getting a massage, going for a walk outside. It might mean getting extra sleep or cutting back on that alcohol consumption that maybe crept up a little bit during COVID, right? But showing up as your best self, showing up on the rested edge every day so you can come in a state where you're calm and collected and you can be in position to be thinking about the strategies and business development opportunities for your business. Also your team, right? Are you running around serving other people and their agendas, or are you on your own agenda? Right. And so be thinking about that for yourself as well. And as you're marketing, patients, they want to know, what are you doing for them? I mean, I'm just kind of thinking, you guys have heard this acronym before, the what's in it for me, right? What the heck is in it for them? What are patients going to get out of seeking you out as a provider for their care and wellness? And so going into this wellness stuff, I follow the wellness industry very closely. It's something, if you've been following me for a while, I'm a very big advocate of incorporating wellness into aesthetics, into cosmetic, into really, even if you're a skincare specialist, wellness, to me, it's this kind of vibration and theme that goes through everything and every human being, right? We're a holistic human. And so, I read an article recently titled, "Put Down the Prozac and Pick Up Your Walking Shoes," and was published by the Global Wellness Institute. And it talked about the trends that these predictors of the Global Institute, the forecasters, had predicted that doctors would very soon be prescribing nature, right? So instead of the patient coming into the doctor's office for a generic or scripted pharmaceutical product, the doctor would say, okay, but why don't you go out to nature and go for a 30-minute walk, And that's not actually that far-fetched, right? So, I'm looking at the statistics, and I always tell our clients, follow the money, because we know, let's look at the numbers, right? So the global mental wellness economy is clocking in at a growing $120.8 billion. And there's really 4 subcategories to watch in wellness that I think are really going to be interesting this year. And that's senses and space and sleep. And that's $49.5 billion space. Brain boosting nutraceuticals and botanicals, $34.8 billion. Self-improvement, and I would consider this personal development as well. Team development, right? All those things around helping us feel like we're personally working on things in our life to help us approach our business in a clearer way. 33.6 billion, I think even bigger than that. But meditation and mindfulness, 2.9 billion. The numbers are there. We probably, if you're listening to this, we're humans, we're alive, we're not living under a rock. We're all kind of learning and interested in diving in a little bit more into areas where we can optimize our health and wellness. I mentioned when I first jumped on this live stream this morning that I did a cold plunge. I've been doing cold plunging in my pool now since kind of winter came, but for about 9 weeks, every single morning going in for a few minutes into 40-degree water. was probably my worst fear ever. But, there are physical wellness benefits to it. But it has shown me that I can do something that I never thought I could do before. And I can create new habits and I can push myself out of my comfort zone. And what that's done for my mental wellness and really my optimism and my outlook on this year, it's been insane. And so I think there's little things that we're all thinking about doing. And to me, my wellness, my health, and my aesthetic care are all interrelated. And so I'm going to be seeking out a provider who's going to provide a community for me and a safe place for me to be able to explore all of those things. Okay. The second trend that our clients are really going to be focusing on this year is the long-term care model. So piggybacking on wellness, consumers are truly buying differently. They're invested more in their wellness and they're invested in sustainable long-term care versus the quick fixes, right? They're really thinking about their health. They're thinking about what's going to be happening. How am I going to want to feel at the end of the year? Right. And so now is truly a great time to be introducing a long-term care plan in your practice, a subscription model, membership programs, ways for patients to kind of lock in and lock arms with you for the course of the year for their aesthetic and wellness needs, right? This is going to help increase obviously patient outcomes. I know you probably sometimes beat your head against the wall when patients come to you and they're like, well, I just want that one. Can I just do one treatment? I don't want to do the series of 6, And now is a really great time to have that conversation about how having those 6 treatments or setting themselves up with the mindset of layering procedures on top of each other is going to help provide an optimal outcome for them, but also to help them budget for that and plan for that in the future. Okay. A side effect of that, increasing consumer loyalty, that patient's coming back, there's more touch points with them. They know automatically where they're going to be coming. They're not going to be distracted by 17,000 messages coming across their face every day. You're a partner in their aesthetic and wellness care plan with them. And that's going to boost word of mouth referrals and ultimately give you the ability to offer higher ticket items, services, and products in your practice and raise your profit margins and your prices. Okay. All right. The next trend I want to talk about or that we're working on with our clients, I'll share with you, is really this getting everything online. And we've kind of all just been online, right? We've been here, but the consumer journey is really starting much earlier now online. And so looking at your systems, at your digital platforms, social and paid traffic, and identifying do you have those systems in place to attract, bring in and nurture those clients through the process of developing a know, like, and trust with you so that by the time they come into your office, it is a no-brainer. Like you are the one for them. And so, some ways that we'll be investing in our academy and really increasing knowledge, awareness, and systems behind e-commerce. So stepping up the retail game, making self-care really easy for the patient. Why go to Amazon when they have the convenience, the trust, and the prescription and this long-term care model invested with you as a provider? So, really thinking about leveraging retail. I mentioned to you the esthetician who did 7 figures last year, solo esthetician, right? Solo esthetician. So I don't know. I hear sometimes like, yeah, I'm not sure retail isn't really, that's not where I should be playing. Look, that could be a really nice passive revenue stream for you if you set up the systems and the programs right behind it, not just throw up your products on e-commerce. I saw a lot of practices just like rush to put e-commerce up during the pandemic and not build a program behind how patients were going to actually find you out of all the other millions who are offering retail, come back for more products, order their products, right? How are you fulfilling those products? There's things that you need to be thinking about. If you do the work on the back end, it's a very lucrative game that you can play, okay? Following up online, right? Do you have systems in place to be front of mind with your patients? It's not enough just to sell them something, but once they buy, then what happens next? So putting automated systems and human automation, right? So where you have systems in place where your people aren't just simply receiving calls and you're not relying on your SEO or your paid traffic to come and drive a patient into your practice, but really looking at that patient and the network that they have. How are you following up with them and keeping them coming in for more procedures, spending more, and really expanding the lifetime value of that patient That's just the place to be looking right now. And then, online conversion events. So having online consultations and then even events where you're going to be selling online or doing a group consultation and booking online. And so that's stuff we're teaching in detail in our academy. All right. And then the final thing is the strategic planning piece. I think everybody thinks about, I got to put a strategic plan together for this next year. And you just think like, okay, I made 500,000 last year, so let's make 600,000. Okay. All right. Ready, team, go. Okay. And that's unfortunately not going to be effective because look what happened this year. If you're following the money, you're going to be so committed to that financial goal that when things happen out of your control, you may end up making decisions to either around that specific number that will pull you off of the bigger vision for your company. So, staying focused on certainly having a revenue goal, having those numbers in place, but focusing on the journey, focusing on breaking it down into measurable, tactical, tangible things that everybody can be doing every day. And then putting systems in place to inspect what you expect of each employee to make sure that they're contributing to their piece of the process to getting the business to where it wants to go. Okay. So strategic planning. So we've put together an incredible strategic planning guide for our business. Our clients are working feverishly on that right now because they're going to have a co-working session tomorrow morning to show us the work that they're doing. So any of you who are watching, we cannot wait to see your plans. And this is really going to be our North Star compass of where to take the business in 2021. And it's going to really provide everything that you need to stay focused on, from your self-care plan to your people, your team plan, who you need to execute those goals, what your revenue goals is, how many of what procedure you need to be selling, and how to market those. And then ultimately building your brand, building the brand that you want to be, becoming that individual, that person, that business personality that you want the world to see and recognize as a preeminent leader that you are. Okay. First of all, I want to get you access to this incredible planner. And I want to tell you about 5 other ways that you can work with us to help us take you through this journey in 2021, to help you achieve your goals, to help you realize and recognize and, feel that incredible, deeply satisfying, fulfilling business that you know that you deserve. The first thing you can do is join us, sign up for our masterclass that's upcoming up, our free masterclass. It's called Cracking the Hiring Code. And it's a team building masterclass where we're going to take you through really 3 main objectives: attracting your next high performing employee, nourishing your company culture, and finally building compensation plans that are built as a win-win for the employee and the business. We're hearing a lot in our community about questions around the best way to compensate, how now with commission, teams kind of reshuffling, restructuring. And so we want to make sure that we provide for you really the step-by-step on what is the right kind of plan and how do we develop a plan and bring the right people in that are going to be motivated and excited and passionate about our business, and as excited as we are, really to be focused on getting that business where we want it to go. Okay. Oh, and by the way, so our team's putting the links in the notes here, but you can sign up for the masterclass at klcconsultants.com/masterclass. It's also in the link in Instagram, and then wherever you are, we're putting the links up as well. It is a limited space masterclass, by the way. We're only going to be accepting 20 people because it's not a Zoom webinar. It's actually going to be me on camera with you guys, high touch, answering questions. We're workshopping, so it's going to be very, very high value. And so we're going to limit the number of attendees just to keep it, really as intimate and as impactful as possible for you. So just keep that in mind. If you do want to attend and reserve your space for February 1st, it's at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I would head over there immediately and get signed up. When you attend that, you're going to actually get the masterclass is free too. So it's just, a no-brainer. But I just ask that you, answer some qualifying questions and come in ready to learn and be committed to bringing a good attitude and doing the work. And when you attend, we're going to give you our 13-page 2021 strategic planning guide that, our Academy clients are working through. And that's really the template that we're using to help them build their businesses in 2021. The second way to work with us is to invest in our hiring kit. We have a hiring kit, and that comes with a strategy session with me. And that's basically like a whole program, a course with resources, all the downloads, templates, everything that you need to onboard a new employee, to find how to find a new employee, really how to bring them in and onboard them, checklists for all the things that you need to do to get them onboarded in your practice, performance review, performance management, how to develop a scorecard for that employee, really everything related to the hiring process. And when you purchase that, you're going to get a strategy session with me as well to help you implement these resources into your practice, into your people plan. And I don't know the price of it. So Shannon, maybe you can just go ahead and put the link up there, and you can put the price to it. I honestly don't even know how much it is. It's incredible. The third is a review and reset strategic growth blueprint session with me. So this would actually require for us to get on the phone and have, a high value kind of call for us to evaluate if your practice is eligible for this, and if this would really be a win-win for us to do it, to work together in this way. But this is a series of 4 sessions working with me where we'll come in and do an analysis of your team, of your marketing systems, of your operations, and really the structures that you have set up for 2021. And then we'll do sort of a kind of team interview. We'll do a survey. We'll be kind of getting just like analysis and feedback from all of the team, taking a deep dive into really all of the systems and operations in your practice, and then preparing a whole strategic blueprint for you on really our recommendations for you in terms of where to take the business through the year. We can take that model and apply it as well to a 1-day on-site VIP day. Again, you'll want to schedule a call with us to talk about that and discuss our fees and whatnot. And then finally, our signature flagship program, which is the Pop Aesthetic Leadership Academy. And this is a year-long business incubator that helps you develop the systems, the strategy, the team, the knowledge around timeless business principles to build your aesthetic business. So we have in our academy incredible thought leaders who are taking their business from point A to point Z through the course of a series of incredible trainings with us. It is not a course. It is a program where you will show up every single week and do work with us and learn, and have also one-on-one strategic growth advisory with our team. We have co-working sessions. We have all kinds of really good things in there that are designed to help you build not just, a quick fix, but timeless business principles that you're going to be able to apply to your business throughout the rest of your life, through the end of time. And I don't think if you're here, you're just here for a quick fix. You're here because you want to make an imprint. You want to leave a legacy. And so that's what we're here to do. And so we'll put a link there for you to also check out. We'll send a follow-up email as well. I feel like I'm making Shannon put so many links in here. But I wanted to make sure that and particularly for our Facebook group members who have been a part of our community for a while, and we're growing so fast. And, for me, the team was like, we need to let people know how they can work with us because we're busy, just having fun and obviously navigating through this year and working with our amazing clients. And we don't work with everybody. We're not the right fit for everybody. We believe in an accountability-based model. And so we're teaching you how to do the work. We're teaching your team how to implement these strategies and these theories that, we're working on the higher CEO level. And so we really want to make sure that we connect and have a conversation about whether you have the business that is going to be the right fit to really just blow up next year. And for some people, that's, I want to grow my revenue. Some people, I just want to systematize and downsize. And some people are already growing so fast that they want to tighten up all of the foundation of the business so they can build sustainable, scalable growth. Because remember, we don't want to scale complexity. We don't want to scale inefficiencies. We want to scale efficiency. We want to scale really incredible, satisfying businesses. So anyway, I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope that this was really helpful. That's all I have for you. If you're not sure what's really the next step, where do I go? Sign up for our masterclass. Come and spend 90 minutes with me. We'll get to know each other. We can talk about, where we can take our businesses together from there. So thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you soon.
thank you for joining me for this episode of The Fierce Factor. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you subscribe so you can automatically get new shows every week. I'd also love it if you left us a review. And come join the conversation online. If you're an aesthetic industry owner, operator, or leader, please join my free Facebook group, The Tribe of Fierce Aesthetic Leaders, a community of ambitious, purpose-driven professionals who collaborate and share best practices for growth in business and life. I'm honored you tuned in.